There we go. I may be or may not be broadcasting. I have no idea because this is my very first time with this software. So we'll figure it out. Ah. Yes, I did try turning it on and off several times. You know, it's the same old thing. It always works in rehearsal. What is up, everybody? Hey, Cowboy Japs. Thank you for showing up. Chewy God. Thank you, sir. Ghost Admin. How you doing, brother? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm about to figure this thing out. Hey, Jake Lynn. Thank you very much for popping in. Here's what I don't know. Actually, I'm learning. I'm kind of learning this thing as we go along here. Hang on a sec. Let me just Oh, I see what's going on there. Okay. Yeah, we'll figure that out for another time. Boom. And boom. And I will figure that out another time. Okay, cool. Everybody can see everything, right? See, well, there's only a couple of things that we're looking at, really. All right. And that way I'll know when the show's on. Oh, man, Chewy's flashing some gang signs at me. All right, bro, fine. Back at you. I saw a meme the other day where somebody was doing that, right? The victory sign, right? The win sign, right? And then they had, in the other window, they had another guy who was doing that too, only his finger was just cut off. I thought that was hysterical. Hey, Chris Chambers, thank you for popping in. So that's what we're looking at tonight. Yep. Where will the Vols be ranked? Will they be 7? Will they be 6? Who knows? I don't know. I'm guessing they're going to be 7 because of ESPN's love affair. Let me do this. That's bugging me. ESPN's love affair with Alabama. What do y'all think? Jab says 7. Hey, Calvin, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. I'm just going to move that over a little bit. Everybody can hear properly and see properly. As I said, tonight's first night. I'm moving to this software. I played around with it a few times, and I am just going to be doing my lives with this from now on because at some point I will be able to bring in on-screen content that is kind of fun to look at, and we can get more conversations going about different things, and I can share my screen with you. Is it Michael or Mikhail? Interesting. All right. All sounds good then. Great. Who do we have? Everybody's thinking kind of the same, I think. Everybody's thinking 7, right? So if we are in fact 7, we're going to end up, get this, after Dirt Dauber Sweeney made his disparaging remarks about the University of Tennessee, and then he goes and loses to South Carolina at home, which I thought that was lovely. I'm not a South Carolina fan. Ghost Admin says number 1. Yeah, okay, number 1 in my heart, maybe. So if it's number 7, if we don't jump Alabama, and they can make an argument for jumping Alabama, we beat them straight up, and there are several other things that. Well, let me see if I can I don't know whether I'll be able to pull up this on my screen, but I will be able to read it, I think. Where was that? Anyway, it was talking about Alabama and the LSU thing. Alabama losing to LSU, right? And of course, Tennessee had the road win against LSU, and it was more than a win. It was kind of like it killed them, dead killed them, right? And so there were a lot of little bitty things that they talked about in this article that I can't seem to find and show you, but anyway, I'll do better next time. They talked about this in the article about the LSU loss and a couple of other things. They compared the Vanderbilt games, both for Alabama and whatever. But anyway, Tennessee comes out on every metric on those. Okay. And there were 4 or 5 of them. Not to mention beating them head to head. So you can make an argument for Tennessee being ranked tonight above Alabama. Whether they will or not, I do not know. The main criticism about Tennessee was the South Carolina thing. That coupled with Hendon Hooker being out, it was kind of a double whammy. So bottom line is, if we're 7th, we'll go to the Orange. If we're 7th behind Alabama, we'll go to the Orange Bowl. And we'll play Clemson. If we're 6th, we will, above Alabama. You're right, Mr. Kobach. You're absolutely right. It doesn't match the animus against the Vols. If we're 7, we go to Orange Bowl, play Clemson. If we're 6, we go to the Sugar Bowl and play Kansas State. Here it comes. I'm just turning it around here. Dun 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 dun. I'm trying to provide the sound effects as well. Ooh. Come on, are we going to be 7 or are we going to be 6? What are they going to do? I'm saying 7. Come on, let's see it. Come on. I apologize for the squeaky chair in advance. I'll just watch it over my shoulder right there. What Michael Kobach said, 100%. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Absolutely. No doubt. Let's see. Calvin Corum. We beat LSU by the same amount of points we lost to Carolina, and they still had LSU ranked high. Yeah, I'm not. That's a good point, Calvin. I'm not optimistic, and I'm not even going to be upset about it because we know that animus is there. Yep, there we are. 7. Let me see what they say.
Which is infuriating to Volunteer fans, I'm sure, but there's also the issue that they don't have their starting quarterback anymore with Hendon Hooker being injured.
And I think that is exactly what has happened here. Hendon Hooker is no longer there. And so their resume, as strong as it is, and a terrific season they had, without Hendon Hooker, do you think they do the same thing with that resume? I don't think they do, but I understand why they're ranked behind Bama in this situation.
I don't think they do either, but we did see them play. So I think you could say we saw them go head to head. We saw Tennessee beat them. And so I wouldn't be upset if Tennessee was ahead of them, honestly.
Yeah.
Saxton
I wouldn't either. Uh-oh.
and Lita's intact.
Yeah. Well,
Bowl positioning, too, is going to be it.
there's that. So, problem solved. Katusa, hey, thanks for coming in. And Vols will be 7, and they are, in fact, 7. So we're going to the Orange Bowl and playing Clemson. I don't know a lot about Clemson. I'll have to do some studying on that. I'll run it through the big boss, Daddy College Football computer, and see what that looks like. But we can really kind of throw the numbers out because, you know, it was Hooker's numbers, really, for the whole season. Ohio State 5, Alabama 6. Yeah, that kind of makes some sense. And what's really going to screw things up is when the USC loses this weekend. Now, they've already lost to the USC should be number what? Are they going to be number 4, I think? Let's see. Jake Lynn put 56 on Vandy, so can't hate too much. Yeah, true. He proved himself on that. Yes, sir. He sure did. Michael Kovac, this playoff is set up for a Georgia repeat. Yes. Devin Gardner, thank you for coming, Devin. Appreciate you. Weird how every criteria they base these off of Tennessee is better than Bama. Right, exactly. You're 100% correct. So, yeah, the Bama thing is real. But at the end of the day, it really is one slot, and it doesn't matter a whole hell of a lot. You know, it's either, you know, going to New Orleans or going to Miami. Either one will be, you know, we'll be happy. We'll be fine for me. Because we're going to win either game. I think we'll beat Clemson, and I think we'll beat Kansas State. Should we end up in the Sugar Bowl? But it looks like Clemson, because they're not going to jump anybody at this point. So I don't think. Ed is for UT. Thanks, Ed, for coming tonight. Appreciate you. I want Clemson. Yep, well, we're going to get him, and think so. Purple Einstein, thank you. Great name. You think if Hooker doesn't go down, Vols get number 7? Absolutely not. No, I don't think so. I think that was a determining factor. Michael D. Clemson was bad-mouthing the Vols after the South Carolina loss. Yes, he is. He's going to get a chance to bad-mouth them in person. Now, Remander, you had a comment, USC will be 4. Yeah, I think they will. I think you're right. Was anybody as surprised as I was about the Michigan game, the Michigan-Ohio State game? That game did not make sense to me. I had Ohio State. I had Ohio State by 14 points. That's what the big boss daddy college football computers told me. Sure enough did. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was weird. Reminder, I would rather we play Clemson than Kansas State. Why is that? Chewy Gad gets psyched for the Nico era. Yeah, he is. Oh, I have a funny story to tell you. I am working on a recruiting video for tomorrow. All right. So I am in. I was unclear about this recruiting period, and somebody left an announcement or left a comment saying, "Hey, when do these guys actually sign?" And I went, "I don't know." So I called the football office today and left them a message and say, "Hey, look, I'm told them who I was and trying to find out what's going to happen during signing day, when they're coming, when does that all happen." So as it turns out, it was during lunch, I left a message, and I was recording a chunk of this show tonight, which actually didn't make it to the air because I got distracted on the recruiting thing. And while I'm recording, like right now, I get a phone call from Bill Martin, who is the assistant athletic director in charge of football communications, something like that. And he says, "Hey, Rocket, how you doing, man? Thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah." And he said, "How can I help you?" And I went, and so I have my little cell phone here. Normally at some point in the near future, I'll be able to take phone calls, my background is morning radio, right? I was one of those weird morning radio guys. Maybe you can tell, maybe not. So I'm used to having people on the phone talking to me. And so I'm sitting here on my cell phone, I'm going, "Hello?" Because I recognize the number from being in Knoxville. So hello, he said, "Hey, Rocket, it's Bill Martin, blah, blah, Tennessee, and whatever." And I'm going, "Oh, cool." And so I asked him about the whole thing, and I'm sitting here on the phone, and I realize that it was recording the whole thing. And so I've just put it in the show. I just put it in the show tomorrow, and you'll see that a little bit. But here's the deal on that. So recruiting started yesterday. They went out on the road yesterday with a 10-2 record. And then on December 21st is when they announce that they are signing, or whoever has signed has signed. All right? So December 21st is when we will know 100% for sure whether Nico is signed and in the deal. And of course he is, because he's got the big deal, right? So, but that's when it will be announced, is on December 21st. The players that are coming early, that are graduating early from high school and are going to be in school and on campus and in practice, in the gym, on the field, in January, they will be announced that their signing is on December 21st. Now, they have a secondary signing period, which is February 1st, for those who are obviously still in high school and decided to finish that last half of their senior year and will be coming to Tennessee in the summer, okay, for the summer camp. So, and it was just so funny that I'm sitting there talking to this guy, and then I looked down and it was recording, and I looked back at it. I said, "Well, hell, I'll just leave that in there. That's kind of fun to look at that." So, December 21st is when Nico and David and who's the other guy? Chadavian Bradley. I think they're all coming early, so that'll be fun to see that. Well, tomorrow I'm going to show you who we have coming, their ratings, and I don't know exactly to the extent of who's coming for January and who's coming for the summer. I don't have that information completed yet. I'll try to get more of that tomorrow. So, but it's fun, man. It's fun. I want TCU to win it all for the laughs. I can go along with that, Jake. Yeah, I like that. Let me ask you a question. When you're looking at the screen here, can you see the chat or no? Can you see the chat responses or no? Just curious. Again, this is my first time using this system, and I'm just kind of learning it. So let me know. I don't know whether or not you can see that chat. If not, I have to find a way to put that chat on the screen so you're seeing it. Oh, you can see the chat. The chat is scrolling, and you can see it. That is very cool. Evidently, I learned how to do that already and wasn't aware of it. Oh, it's not on the screen. Okay. All right. Gotcha. but you can see it. You can see how I'm responding to people, and you can see their side of the conversation as well. Cowboy Jabs, we need to beef up that defense. I was looking at that. I was pretty impressed. They got some good defensive people coming in, for sure. Nico, is the Vols $8 million man? Yes, he is. Chewy Gad. Yeah, I heard that boy threw a football a quarter mile. I heard a story about Aaron Rodgers when he was at California. All right, when he was in college. The legend was about him. His arm was so strong, he would get on his knees on the 50-yard line, and he would practice hitting the crossbar of the goalpost from the 50-yard line on his knees. That's how he would practice. I always thought that was pretty impressive. And the legend is he was pretty accurate doing that. It is not on your input. It is by virtue of being a YouTube broadcast. Okay, gotcha. All right. I got you. That's good enough. But you're seeing the chat. That's what I want to make sure. Okay, got it. Because see, I am not technically on YouTube. I am on OBS, so I'm not in the YouTube control room. I'm in the OBS control room. So, and I'm importing that chat into my little control room here in OBS. So now I know. Good. Let's see. Chat is showing under live. Depends. Phone, yes. TV, no. Don't know what that means. Tamsack done host. Happy live stream. Don't know what that means. Chat is always on the right side of the video. Yeah. I understand that. But that's on YouTube, not in my little control room area here where I'm launching the live from. But that gives me great intel here because I can still pretend. So let me just drop this over here. There you go. Boom. So I can still communicate with you. But I am actually technically not over there. So, cool. Modern Professionals, thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody else said something I wanted to respond to. Purple Einstein. I love that name, man. Purple Einstein, do you think the portal will be generous to the Vols regarding defensive help? There's a kid out of Missouri that went into the portal, and their cornerback is supposed to be good. There is who else did I read about today? Yeah, it'll all be on tomorrow's show. But there's somebody else. Oh, wait a minute now. Hang on. Come on, Rocket Man. It's in there, in your brain. It's from a small... duh. It's from the Rockets, which is my second favorite college team, the Toledo Rockets. I even have a helmet. Yeah. There's a whiz kid defensive back that there's a petition going around. He plays for the Toledo Rockets, and they're trying to, you know how online they make a petition. They petition people to get into the transfer portal and go to Tennessee. I think that's how Brew McCoy got to Tennessee. And there's this kid, I can't remember his name, but he's from, I'll have it tomorrow. he's in the portal, or they're trying to petition him to get into the portal. He has like 18 interceptions and pass breakups in this season. Okay, and he's supposed to be a whiz kid guy in the defense, and there's a movement trying to get him to get into the portal so that he can come to Tennessee. I'm down for that. Ghost Admin, depends on what you have on it, but for most rocket, the answer is yes. Einstein, sure hope so, and I'd say coaches are already working on that. Yeah, I think so, and I also think that they have proven themselves. See, I've said this before. When Heupel was hired, it was assumed that Danny White couldn't find anybody else. And I don't think that was ever the plan, finding anybody else. And it was also assumed that everybody turned him down. All the good coaches turned him down. He didn't want any of the other coaches. He wanted Heupel from the get-go. That's my read, and that's my take on that. So I'm pretty sure that now, when people look at that, this is not a fluke. It's not a pipe dream. Heupel knows what he's doing. It translates to the SEC. You know, and all the Georgia people and all the South Carolina people, the shit talkers, are going to say, well, your offense is a gimmick offense. Yeah. Ask Alabama how gimmick that offense is. Ask Kentucky. Ask LSU. I am so glad LSU lost. Is anybody else? Everybody's glad that LSU lost. Raise your hand. Mm-hmm. That's me. Come on, raise your hand. Here we go. Yeah, I am so glad they did. And I'm so glad they're out. And now, what would really make a mess if they beat Georgia, which is not going to happen. But I didn't think Michigan was going to beat Ohio State either. And that really surprised me. Catoosa to the 9 and the 3. I don't think Milton's arm strength has ever been questioned. No, of course not. He's a monster. Jack Lee's War Room. Like that name. Perhaps a good end rusher and for sure safety and 2 via the portal. This kid, Davian Hobbs. I was watching his highlights today. I'll be showing them tomorrow. Dude is pretty sick. He's an edge rusher. He's good, man. Cowboy Jabs got his hand up. Yes, sir. Glad to see LSU lose. And glad to see Clemson and Oregon lose. Hey, look, man, have faith, take heart, because to go from 2 years ago where Pruitt left this place in a mess, and I still believe they ran off those players that left, or most of them, the good ones. I think they ran them off just because they were involved in, you know, the Chick-fil-A money bags and the McDonald's Big Mac bag, money bag thing. And then the others, you know, just got scared of getting lost and they all went somewhere else. And to do what he's done, man, I mean, it really was with spit and baling wire, right? I mean, geez, come on, man. That was incredible. So I think people now take it serious because it was only one team that could stop it, and that was Georgia. South Carolina, they didn't stop it. I mean, we scored 38. It's just that weird mojo voodoo thing that was going on in the locker room is what stopped and why we lost that game. right? Michael Kovic said, more proof fast food isn't good for you. That's a good one, bro. Chewy Gad, briefly, what is the argument for being a gimmick offense? Well, there is no argument. It's just shit talk. It's just trash talking, and it comes from South Carolina people, and I get it all the time on my comments. They only stay up there for a couple of minutes, but I get it all the time. Well, you guys, you Volginas. That's a pretty funny name, though. You Volginas, you got that gimmick offense. I guess it didn't work so more. No, that had nothing to do with the gimmick offense. It had to do with a very weird situation in the locker room. That's what that had to do with. But some of the Georgia haters and some of the South Carolina haters call it a gimmick offense. I guess because there's 4 players on the sideline in every play. Which I love. A gimmick offense that no one has had an answer for. Well, in fairness, Georgia did kind of shut it down. But here's the good news. Guess who we get at home next year? Georgia and South Carolina. Can you imagine that South Carolina game next year in Neyland? Can you imagine that? I'm going to do everything I can to get myself a ticket for that now so that I have it. And I'm going to get me a ticket up there in the sports bar for that one. Right? Lord have mercy and holy crackers. That's going to be a good one. So here is what we have learned tonight. Number 1, that I can use OBS now. Yay! And I will learn soon to share my screen so that I can share various things with you when we do these lives, because that's the fun in it for me. I just thought I'd dip my big toe in this tonight. Yeah, saying Voltard and Volgina is un-American. People have no idea the significance of the volunteer name. Well, they're idiots. And that's one thing that I have learned about doing this particular YouTube channel is, man, when it comes to college football, people can really display their stupidity. Right? And I don't mean that in a horribly mean way, but they just lose all sense of reason. Well, the whole gimmick offense thing is a perfect example, right? Cowboy jabs was no secret to our offense. It's just fast. It leaves no time to adjust for the most part. Exactly. It's a brilliant thing. And you watch a lot of teams coming up next year are going to be doing this sort of thing. You're already seeing some teams doing it on a few downs, right? Not just every down like we do. And I got to give him props for that, man, because Lord have mercy. You got to be honest with yourself and trust yourself to be able to pull that off and believe in yourself at this level. Wow. Stupid is as stupid does. You're right, Jack. You're right, Jack Lee's War Room. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm hungry tonight. Plus, I have a bottle of wine over there I'm going to sample. So I thank you all for coming. Don't forget to, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And those of you who have, thank you so much. The channel is rolling. It's looking good. The numbers are great. And I'm actually learning how to do it. So I appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'll have this back up here a little later tonight. And I will see you tomorrow. Looks like we're going to go take on Clemson at the Orange Bowl. So that will be fun. I wonder if we'll both be wearing orange helmets. Because it's the same kind of orange. When I was watching the South Carolina game, I'm going, I don't know whether I like these orange helmets or not, because it makes me look like, makes me think I'm looking at Clemson, right? Anyway, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then that will be another good win, right? Now, I cannot... I get so distracted by you guys. Ghost Admin, let me be mean for you, Rocket. Block the haters. That's what I'm learning, GA. Hey, thanks, Ghost Admin. And thank you all. I appreciate you being here. And thank you, Modern Professionals. Thank you. First time I've seen you, I think. And thank you for the subs. I appreciate it. Keep up the great work. And, oh, that's for me. I sounded like Joe Biden there for a second. I was reading the directions. Anyway, I am out. See you tomorrow. And don't forget to see look out for the recruiting show. So.